Hi, so my name's Tessa. I'm with KTBZ. I'm with 94.5 The Buzz. I do a morning, and we, of course, have been talking about everything Valentine's Day related, romance right now, and we're just going on and on about it. But I was sent a press release with some really interesting numbers about people who get basically scammed online, and the scammers are using a relationship, love, as their means to gain trust with people. Also, the Tinder swindler on Netflix right now, one of the most popular shows on Netflix right now, is about a man who did this to multiple women, and it's so fascinating and it's so unsettling. And Yvonne, you have a story that something similar kind of happened to you. So why don't you talk about that?
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the Tinder swindler, because that's where I met my scammer, was on Tinder. And he was an expert. He really was. So I wonder if it's the same person. Um,
This guy was an international con artist, and that's who the Netflix documentary is about. But I know he's one of many people who kind of
right.
use this application to con people looking for a relationship or love. So yeah, go on.
Okay, I hadn't dated for a long time, so I thought, well, I'll try online dating, especially during COVID. There's really not another way to meet people. And I'm 68, so I'm not exactly, a hot property for dating. And I wasn't really.
There will be no self-hate. There will be no self-hate on the interview. You look good. We celebrate older, sexy women on my show every Monday. We do a MILF Monday. We appreciate an older, beautiful lady. And yeah, so sorry.
Well, I call myself a hot granny. I just became a so
Awesome.
so Right. So I guess I just thought, okay, I'll check it out. And almost immediately, this fellow wrote to me. His name was Robert Bruno. And I can send you some pictures of him. He was very nice looking. He was 10 years younger than me, but it's not like he was so glossy looking that it looked fake. And I really didn't know what a romance scam was. I should have, but I didn't know about those. And so he started, the first thing he said was, "Oh, you're so beautiful." And I said, yeah, thanks. And then he started chit chatting. His profile was really not bad at all. He had pictures of himself in a charity bike race for Team Negroni, which is, legitimate. And then he started calling me and texting me every day. One of the things they do is move you immediately from the app to some other platform like Kik or Google Chat or text, so that you can't. When I went back to Tinder to find his profile, it was gone. He had disconnected from me, and you can't really find anyone on Tinder. They have to write to you, or you have to peruse through all these profiles based on the only thing they'll let you. You can put your range of date, birthdays that you want to, age range. I'm sorry, and you can see people either in your area or globally, whatever. So I was never able to find him again. And our few messages that we had on Tinder were also gone. So that was a red flag. And then he started calling me and texting me with his little, words of love. "Oh, you're so pretty. You're the light of my life, blah, blah, blah."
Charming.
And yeah. And I didn't realize his profile said that he was only 60 miles away. I live in South Texas, or Southeast Texas. And we had, one of the things I knew was that you don't talk to people that aren't willing to meet you. And we had plans to meet, and then he canceled the meeting. And he said, "I have a big job in Dallas." He was supposed to be, had his own construction company. And so that sounded legitimate to me, and so he kept contacting me. And then the next thing I know, he says he's in Turkey. And I said, "You said you were in Dallas." "Oh, no." And So that was upsetting.
Yeah.
And I should have, there's probably 20 times that I should have disconnected, but you get sort of invested, and
Right.
you think, what if this is real? This could be, don't be negative Nelly, you know, and
And I think too, as women were taught, from a young age. Now the tide is turning a lot. We from a younger age are said, be nice to people, treat people right, give people the benefit of the doubt, be pleasant, be a pleasant person. And I feel like a lot of victim blaming when something like this happens. Someone says, "Oh, well, you should have known. Well, you should have known." Well, it's like, well, I feel like people should just be decent to other people. I feel like that, and maybe I am a sucker. Like maybe I am a sucker for like wanting to believe in love or whatever. But it's not my fault that this person had bad intentions from the start. But anyway, I'll let you keep going. So you are he's out of the country, and is he coming back? I mean, what excuses are you saying? And is he asking you for stuff? I mean, what is transpiring?
Oh, ultimately, he asked me to receive money. So I'm guessing his scheme was money laundering. But he was very clever about how he endeared himself to me, because, that, like I said, there were many times when I should have just disconnected and didn't. Look, my boss has just texted me. Sorry, I got distracted. I tried to call him, and the phone number, I couldn't leave a message. There was a dull tone. I emailed him and he never replied. So I'm sure that's because he didn't want me to have the metadata in the email so I could find him. He sent me flowers, and I called the flower shop to find out, if she could tell me who sent them or where they sent them from, and she wouldn't help me. Let's see. Gosh. The reason he wanted to receive money for him was that he wanted me to help him settle his father's estate. Supposedly he was from Italy and he'd been in this country for a while. His father died, and he had a very heavy accent, but it was not an Italian accent. I should have, just right there, I should have known. But again, I'll send you the pictures of this gentleman. He is so handsome, and so, the words that this person wrote to me, you'll see, they were like love poems. And I know now they cut and pasted them from the internet. And the reason they had bad grammar is that they use Google Translate. And I might have been talking to 2 or 3 people. These people have multiple clients at a time. That's what they call them, as clients. And I'm not, what else can I tell you? I'm happy to tell you anything else that occurred.
So what the press release came called socialcatfish.com. And this is a place where you can go and kind of, I guess, fact check whoever you think you're talking to on the internet, right? Like you can go do a search on them and kind of see what checks out. So I don't mind plugging them at all, because I feel like that's such a helpful tool, especially when everyone's meeting online these days. I would say you mentioned all of the red flags. What in the end? How much time did you waste? How much did you lose any money? Like what was kind of the summary of the bad, I guess?
Well, we spent about 4 weeks doing this. He asked me 3 times to receive money for him, and I told him no each time. And finally, at the end, he asked me to fill out an ID me request, which is something that you do online, and you put in all your personal information, like your social and all that. And I knew at that point that I had been had, and that's when I disconnected. But the lady at Social Catfish, her name is Lenny. And after I had disconnected with this person, I was very upset with myself. I was just very upset in general that I had been taken for granted. And it made me mad. The FBI can't really do anything about it. Tinder, you could file a report, you can block people, but they don't care. They're not going to do anything about it. They've got millions of people subscribing, and they're not going to lose money by refusing befusing people or trying to check identities. So Lenny at Social Catfish helped me find out who the pictures actually belong to. They'd been stolen from a gay man in San Francisco from his
Wow.
account. And so one of the first things people need to do is a reverse image search. If you go to socialcatfish.com, you can do that for free. And then go to the FBI website. You can see the outline of what they do and exactly how they do it. There are probably other resources out there now, but I didn't know it was called a romance scam. So I couldn't really figure out what keywords do I use to do a search to inform myself. And this was the whole time when I was talking to him, I was very skeptical. And so like I said, I did the thing with this phone number. I did been verified, but his name was Robert Bruno. That's like Joe Smith, if you don't have an address or a birth date or a middle name, you can't find anything about anyone, and they know that. So it just was very frustrating and very upsetting. And I would just encourage any woman if she wants to date online if someone won't meet you, disconnect. If they won't give you something that they can verify, like the name of their business or, where they live, just something, an honest person would be willing to share anything. Right. And they would be willing to meet you. I met one fellow who did everything right, but unfortunately he was a racist. So
oh gosh. Now I am single. I am, I've been people know I've been vocal about the dating apps and stuff, but there's comes a time where it's like, you want to meet people, you kind of want to flush them out from the comfort of your own home. And these websites make it so easy, the Plenty of Fish, Bumble, Tinder, stuff like that. But I mean, it's just a jumble out there.
On every one of those sites. Once I knew their modus operandi, I went back on Tinder, and immediately, like 5 or 6 guys contacted me, and within a couple of minutes, I knew they were a scammer. And it was like, I'm not even going there anymore. It's all scammers, especially for someone my age. Now, maybe a younger person who is not being targeted might have good luck. I know people who've met on Tinder, but they were much younger than me. So they met on Tinder and got married. So it is possible, but not for me, because I'm sure they put in the age range, 55 to 70, because we're the ones that are, the post war baby boom generation. And we're just like you said, we were taught to be kind and give people the benefit of the doubt and be honest. And it's really hard, unless it slaps you in the face, to realize that there are these sociopath criminals out there. That's all they do. They do it for a living. It's like having a serial killer stalking you. They're totally untraceable. No one can find them. And that's their business. So I'm on my soapbox about it, really.
No, I think this is great information, and it is a multi-billion-dollar industry for these con artists. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this interview. I'm going to make a blog page for it. I'm going to attach all the information, so people know what the signs are, the article you sent. And my girl, I want you to watch The Tinder Swindler on Netflix.
I will do that. You
will. And we have each other's number. You let me know what you think. I appreciate you for sharing your story. I know it's a vulnerable thing. It's like, whenever we make a mistake, a lot of people are so prone to hide it. But if you don't share it, it's like, how can other people, learn? Not only do you learn from your mistake, but so many other people learn. And I know my listeners appreciate that. So thank you so much.
I'm hoping that if we save one woman, that's good enough. But hopefully we can spread the word.
Absolutely. Yeah. And send me those pictures. I'll blast whoever you want on my blog page.
Well, what my dream was for him to meet him and just give him a hug. It's like, this man is so good looking. And the idea of the text, the voice and the face, it's almost like it's real. It really
Yeah.
seems real. So I'm being defensive, but
Well, I think you are a beautiful woman, and I wish you luck in your dating. And I don't think that this is the you said Tinder's not for me, and maybe it's not, but like, I don't know. I do believe that a good person eventually will meet like a kindred spirit, so, and if not,
probably.
single sisters for life, like, who cares?
I'm totally happy the way I am. I don't need a man wandering around
Yeah.
my apartment in his underwear. I just don't need that.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, and
Okay.
thanks again.